Well, guys, today इस लेक्चर में हम लोग जो देखने वाले हैं बेसिकली कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री। ये कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री का लेक्चर है और जिनको स्क्रैच से कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री पढ़नी है, मींस इफ यू वांट टू लर्न द कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच, this video is going to be very useful for you. Let me tell you. So, for the lower classes as well as for the higher classes, this video is going to be very useful. You see the entire lecture, the live lecture, and you can learn about the coordinate geometry. Correct? So let us start the class with the basic fundamental things. Coordinate geometry is basically putting the shapes on the plane or in the space. Correct? Now, if we assume that our space or plane is made up of small points, like this is a suppose plane, so all these points are there in the plane. Now, if we join these points, you can have some kind of figure or diagram. Like if you join these 2 points, you can have a line. If you join these 3 points with each other like this, then you can have a triangle. So, but to study these points, we have to learn about the Cartesian plane. Now, to learn about this point, suppose you have this point is here. So, to learn about the position of this point P, we can define this point P with respect to x-axis and with respect to y-axis. This is basically Cartesian plane, and there is a x-axis and y-axis. These are at right angles to each other. Suppose these are not at right angles to each other, then what are these? These are basically oblique axis. But we will limit our discussion when this x-axis and this y-axis they are at right angle to each other. Correct? Now, suppose if we assign the coordinate of this point P as xy, Then what it means? It means that if you draw a perpendicular like this, and if you draw a perpendicular like this, then this, this distance is your x, and this distance is your y. Correct? This is means point P is defined by a point xy, which is at a distance of y from the x-axis, and which is at a distance of x from the y-axis. Correct? This is basically also called rectangular or orthogonal. It is rectangular or orthogonal coordinate system. Orthogonal means things are at right angle to each other. That means if there is a, suppose this is a your y-axis and this is your x-axis, and suppose there is a point P and it is 2, here x is 2 unit and y is 3 unit. Unit you can take anything, centimeter, meter, or whatever. Like you must have seen in the graph. That means this is your 2 and this is your so if point P is defined by 2 comma 3, then you can say yes, this is the point. You can plot this point. Means with respect to your reference axes, that is x-axis and y-axis, you can always define this point. And what is this? Where this x-axis and y-axis they intersect, it is called origin. And its coordinates are, suppose this is O, then its coordinate is 0, 0. Correct. Now, let us say, suppose you have correct. You have a point P and it is basically x1, y1. You have another point Q and this is your x2, y2. Now, if I ask you, what is this distance? PQ. What is this distance PQ? Then you can always find it like this. You just see What is this? This is nothing but, here this point is x2 and this point is x1. This is your x and this is your y. Then naturally this distance is nothing but x2 minus x1. And what about this? If you see, this is your y2 and this is your y1. Then what is this distance? This is basically, here y1 is more than y2, but you can say y1 is more than, so y1 minus y2, of course. Then by Pythagoras, if you see, what is PQ? PQ is nothing but x2 minus x1 here we have written y2 minus y1 because if you write y1 minus y2 or if you write y2 minus y1, it does not make any difference because it is a square. So a general formula, if you see distance between 2 points, if you have 2 points, then general formula is nothing but PQ x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. This is the general formula for finding out the distance between 2 points. One is x1 x2 and another x1 y1 and another point is x2 y2. So this is the general formula. Suppose if you want to find out the distance from the origin, suppose this is the P and this is O and it is x, y, this is x-axis, this is your y-axis. And if I ask you to find out the distance OP, then what is OP? OP here, it will be here basically, if you see, if you put the things in this thing, to x1, here x1 is 0, y1 is 0, x2 is x, and y2 is y. That means it is nothing but x square plus y square. Correct? Very basic thing. I am starting from the scratch. Slowly and slowly, we are going deeper into the subject, and that will be very helpful for your class 11th and class 12th. Correct? So, if you want to find out the distance from the origin of any point, if you know the coordinate, then you can always find the distance. Correct? Now, let us go into a little deeper. Suppose you have a triangle. It is very good problem. You have a triangle. This is your A and this is your B and this is your C. And this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint of the BC. Correct. Now if I ask you, you prove AB square plus AC square is equal to 2 AO square plus BO square. You have to prove this. How to prove this? Let us see. First of all, let us mark our, this is the midpoint. Let us take this as a origin. This is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. Origin means its coordinates are 0, 0. We can assume the coordinates of A is alpha, beta. Coordinate of, naturally it is the midpoint, then suppose this is the coordinate of C, then it has to be minus K, correct? Because here in the Cartesian system, x is positive here and here it is negative. Likewise, y is positive here and it is negative here, correct? So you have to see. Since it is the midpoint, if C is k distance away from the origin, then B has to be minus k. There is no problem in that, in assuming this, correct? Now, let us see what is left hand side. Left hand side is our A is B square plus AC square. This is nothing but AB. What is AB? AB, if you see, if you put a perpendicular here, then what is this? This is your alpha. Of course, this is your K. And what is this? This is your alpha minus K. Sorry, K minus. This is your K minus alpha. So AB square is nothing but alpha plus K square plus your alpha square. Sorry, the beta square. B, or you can say, okay, AB square is this plus what about AC square? AC square is nothing but, if you see, this is K minus alpha plus beta square. Correct? if you expand it, then alpha square plus 2 alpha k plus k square plus beta square plus k square plus alpha square minus 2k alpha plus beta square. Correct? Now what to do? If you see, this will be cancelled out and we can get 2 alpha square plus beta square plus. So this is our left hand side. Let us see what is right hand side. Right hand side is basically 2a square plus bo square. Correct? We have this only, ao square, bo square. What is this? What is ao square? ao square is nothing but alpha square plus beta square. 2 alpha square plus beta square. And what is here? Actually, let us put the bracket this and this plus bo square. Bo square is nothing but k square. Correct? That means this is 2 alpha square plus beta square plus. That means left hand side is equal to right hand side. Or we can say that AB square plus AC square is nothing but 2 AO square plus this is how it is proved. Correct? What we have used here, we have used the coordinate system and simple Pythagoras theorem. That is all. Correct? Let us take another example. Because you can understand the mathematics through examples only. Suppose you have a circle. Correct? And you have a triangle inside this. Center of the circle is like this. So let us, this is your A and this is your B and this is your C. Coordinates of the A and B are this is 5 minus 1 and this is -1, 5, and this is your 6, 6. Coordinates of this triangle is given, and what is this? This is basically your center, and this is called circumcenter. This is circumcenter of the triangle. Correct? Now, if I ask you what is the radius of the circle, then it is, since it is a circumcenter, then these are what? This is your radius. Correct? Let us suppose this is, assume this is a origin. Oh, sorry, no, you cannot assume, because you have to find out this. Suppose it has got a coordinate xy. Correct? Now, you know that OA is equal to OB equal to OC, and that is equal to R. That is means radius. So we can write it here, OA square is equal to OB square is equal to OC square, and naturally this is equal to R square. Correct? There is no problem in this. What is OA? OA, if you see, then you can write it as, because there are 2 points O and A. Okay? So what is the distance? OA square is nothing but x minus 5 square plus y minus -1 square correct. What is OB square? What is OB square? OB square is nothing but your x minus -1 square plus y minus 5 square. What is OC square? OC square is nothing but x minus 6 square plus y minus 6, and that is equal to R square. Correct? Just a moment. correct? So you have these equations basically to find out your this thing. Suppose if we take these two relations, means x minus 5 square plus y plus 1 square equal to x plus 1 square plus y minus 5 square. Correct? This relationship will give you x is equal to y. Because you see, x and y are interchangeable. You don't have to solve this. Just see they are interchangeable. Correct? Now let us take these two relationships, this one and this one. Or you can take the last one itself, x minus 6 square plus y minus 6 square. Let us take these two, then this must be equal to x plus 1 square plus y minus 5 square. We have taken the last two relationships. Correct. Now expand this and put x is equal to y. Then you will get x is equal to 23 upon 8. Means since x is equal to y, then this is. So our circumcenter is 23 by 8, 23 by 8. Now you can take any equation and find out r. R square is nothing but, suppose you take first one, x minus 5 square plus y plus 1 square. Put these x and y, this is your x, this is your y. Put x and y, then r square will be your 1250 upon 64, or radius is nothing but 25 root 2 upon 8. Here, basically, so this is how you can, these kind of questions basically you will experience in your exams. Correct? Now let us take another example. Suppose you have a point O as and A point as 3, now find to form equilateral triangle. You have to find out the coordinate of the point P such that all these 3 points O, A and P, they make equilateral triangle. Correct? So let us see, we have 2 points. This is your O and this is your 3 root 3. We have to find a point P such that this is an equilateral triangle. Now we have to use the property of the equilateral triangle. What is the property of equilateral triangle? Sides are okay. Means OP equal to OA equal to PA, or we can say OP square is nothing but OA square is nothing but PA square. We have to make use of this. Suppose OP square is equal to OA square. Suppose if we take this one, this property, and let us say the coordinate of P are H and K. Coordinates of P are H and K. What is OP? OP is nothing but H square plus K square. Sorry, OP square. It is OP square. And what is OA square? OA square is nothing but 3 square plus root 3 square means 12. Correct? So this is one equation. Correct? Now, let us make use of OP square is equal to PA square. What will be this? This is nothing but, again, OP square is nothing but H square, this thing. And what is this? This will be H minus 3 square plus root HK, K minus root 3 square. These are 2 equations we have got. What we have to do now? If we solve this, let us solve this. H square plus 9 minus 2H, or you can say 6H plus K square plus 3 minus 2 root 3 K. It is h square plus k square. H square k square, h square k square cancels out. Correct? Then h is nothing but your 2 minus k root 3. Correct? Okay. There is a relationship between h and k. This relationship you can put in the first equation. Correct? So you will get basically a quadratic equation. And if you solve this quadratic equation, let me tell you, you will get k as 2 root 3 or minus root 3 and h as 0 and or 3. So these are the combinations. That means coordinates of the P can be this can be 0, 2 root 3 and 3 minus. Now you will say why these two things are coming. So let us visualize it correctly. Here your O point is there, here A point is there. A is 3, sorry, here A point here it is not there. A point is something like this, 3 root 3. And we have got the point, what is 0, 2, 3, means one point is P dash, that is 0, 2 root 3, and another point is your 3 minus root 3. You can name it P dash. If you see, this is the equilateral triangle you are getting. These two equilateral triangles, OAP and O. There is another method of solving this one. Let us plot this point. O point is this, and your A point is 3 root 3. That means, let us see what is this angle. This is nothing but theta, and theta is nothing but tan theta. If you see, that will be root 3 divided by 3 or 3 root 3 1 by root 3, and theta is nothing but 30 degree. So it is 30 degree. That means what is remaining? This is your 60 degree. Naturally, another point, this will be at this line only, correct? And on this line x is your this thing. So what is the distance OP? OA. OA is nothing but your root 3 square plus root 3. That means 9 plus that is root 12 or 2 root 3. Correct? OA is equal to OB. Sorry, OA is equal to OP. That means 2 root 3. That means this point has to be 0, 2 root 3, which is your first point. Now, let us take another point. What is here? It is 30 degree. So naturally, if we make another line, what is this? This is your 30 degree. Equilateral triangle, 60 degree angle is there. That means here again. And what will be this point? A point will be basically A dash. It is the just mirror of A, and naturally what coordinate it will have? It will have 3 minus root 3 because y is below the x-axis. So either way you solve it, you will get the same answer. But this is basically, I'm telling you how to visualize the things. Correct? Okay. I hope you understood this problem. Correct? Now, let us go for another problem of coordinate this thing. Suppose you have a x-axis and you have a y-axis. You have a point Q1, another point is Q2. This coordinate is x1, y1, and here the coordinates are x2, y2. Correct? Then you have to prove this identity, that is O Q1 dot O Q2 cos angle Q1 O Q2. O is nothing but your origin equal to x1 x2 plus y1. Correct? How to solve this? Let us first make the triangle. So this is your O Q1 Q2 triangle is there. In this triangle, if you see, suppose this is your what is this angle? This angle is angle Q1 O Q2. Correct? So you must have seen in your vector analysis that Q1 Q2 square is nothing but O Q1 square plus O Q2 square minus 2O Q1 dot O Q2 cos angle Q1 O Q2. Correct? This is how to find out you must have seen how to find out the resultant. If there are two vectors and their angle between them is theta, so there are two. This is minus because we are finding out this. It is not like this. अगर ये वाला तो ये प्लस हो जाता, करेक्ट। तो इसको अगर हम करें तो आखिर ये है क्या? लेट अस सी व्हाट इज Q1 Q2. Q1 Q2 is nothing but x1 minus x2 square plus y. This is your Q1 Q2 square is nothing but OQ1 is nothing but sorry. हाँ, Q1 Q2 square is y1 minus y2 square, and this must be equal to x1 square because OQ1 square is what? X1 square, correct? Plus y1 square. This is your okay, and what is this? This is your x2 square plus y2 square OQ2 square minus, you can put like this only, O Q1 dot O Q2 cos angle Q1 O Q2, करेक्ट। यहाँ तक तो हो गया। अब इसको अगर आप वो करोगे, इसको ओपन करो और इसको ओपन करो, तो व्हाट यू विल गेट? यू विल गेट बेसिकली 2x1 x2 plus 2y1 y2 is nothing but 2o q1 dot o q2 dot cos angle q1 o q2, or you can say x1 x2 sorry plus y1 y2 is nothing but o q1 o q2 cos क्यों गए? ठीक है, यही आएगा। आई होप कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री का ये पहला लेक्चर है, एंड आई एम टेकिंग अप very basic problems in this. Now let us see what is area of a triangle. Naturally, in a triangle, what you need is basically 3 points. Suppose you have a point, this is your point, suppose A, this is your B, and this is your C. C को थोड़ा और ऊपर, ठीक, this is your x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. We have to find out the area of this triangle. Correct. For finding out, let us just put the perpendiculars from these 3 points. These are basically perpendiculars, and suppose this is M, this is L, and ML. Now, what is the area of triangle ABC is nothing but area of trapezium MBAL plus area of trapezium ALNC minus trapezium MBCN. यही होगा, करेक्ट. इसको हम ये भी लिख सकते हैं, एरिया ऑफ ट्रेपेजियम हाफ BM प्लस AL इंटू ML प्लस हाफ AL प्लस CN इंटू LN माइनस हाफ BM plus CN into your MN. Sorry, MN. This is basically. Now, what is BM? BM is nothing but BM is nothing but Y2 plus AL is nothing but y1. And what is this? This is your x1 minus x2 correct, plus half, this is y1 plus y3, and what is this? This is your x3 minus x1, and this is, and then you have minus half, what is y2 plus y3, and what is this distance? Mn is nothing but x3 minus x2. If you rearrange it, then this will come something like this. x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus, correct? Basically, this is nothing but what is this? This is the determinant of x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, and x3 y3. Correct. So if you have 3 points x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, then you can always find out the area of the triangle ABC. This area you can find out, that is, area is suppose A. Then area you can find out like this also, half x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 and x1. This is nothing but half. If you have open it, then this will give you x1 y2 plus x2 y3 plus x3 y1 minus y1 x3 plus y2 x3, sorry, y1 x2 and plus y3 x1. Correct? Of course, you have to take the modulus of this, because don't go for minus. My area cannot be minus. Area cannot be minus. This this method of finding out the area is called stair method. X1, Y2, then X2, Y3. Like this, you just see X1, Y2 plus X2, Y3 plus X3, Y1 minus Y1, X2 plus Y2, X3. This is your X3. Then Y3, X1. Very simple to remember. Correct? Now, suppose if it is, you have to prove that if A, B, C, these 3 points, they are collinear, means they are in the same line. Then of course, what will be the area found by these 3 points? If they are collinear, then area will be 0. So if with this method and this method, if the area comes 0, then the points are collinear. Correct? I hope this is clear. So today we have studied the Cartesian coordinates, then distance, how to find out the distance between 2 points, how to prove the triangles, identity in the triangles, correct, and how to find out the area of the triangle. All these things are very essential. It is not a higher coordinate or something. These are very fundamental things of coordinate geometry. But as we go up day by day, then things will become harder for you, and they will be very relevant for your exams in JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. So keep watching these live lectures, live classes. If you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it, because there you can get the notifications when these kind of useful videos are coming. It will be very useful for you. Correct? So I am just closing this lecture at this stage. Next, in the lecture, we are going to take up more important things, like we are going to study about area of a polygon. Since so far we have studied how to find out the area of a triangle, area of a polygon. What is the stair method of finding the area of a polygon? Correct? Then suppose if you are given a line and if it is divided, then Suppose if I ask you, if you divide this line PQ in 1:2 ratio or 3:4 ratio, then what will be the coordinate of the dividing point? Or we can divide the line externally also. So all these things you are going to see in our next lecture. Next lecture which I have scheduled at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Correct? If you want to see these lectures, if you want to have some other timing suitable for you, then please do write in the comment box. Correct? So the full anatomy of the coordinate geometry, centroid of a, how to find out a centroid of a triangle, in center of a triangle, correct? All these things, they are going to come up tomorrow. So tomorrow's lecture is very important. So please do attend it at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. at the same time in the evening tomorrow. Correct? Thank you very much.